I'm going to hit you guys with a hard-hitting one right off the bat. Do you know if bunkers like the ones featured in the movie actually exist?
Yes.
Do they really? Can you tell me about them or no? Or is it like lockdown secret?
The fragment has hit Central Florida.
Oh my God.
Wait, are some more pieces gonna hit?
Come on, let's go.
But the sky's on fire.
We watched it as a family last night, and my wife woke me up this morning still thinking about it. She came out of the shower early and was like, yeah, but what about this part? And because I think that I want to emphasize, it relies heavily on the kindness of strangers. Like, there's nothing really special that your guys' characters are equipped to do. You just keep going forward, but you rely heavily on the kindness of strangers. And I'm wondering if that's something that appealed to you when taking on the story.
Yeah, I love that part of the story. But it's also the kindness of strangers and the danger of strangers, because you see beautiful people doing terrible things, but for the right reasons. But a lot of the time, there's just such heart and humanity in there by the people that pass. And by the way, that's the world that we live in. There's a lot of darkness out there, but there's a lot of light, and we can't forget that. And I think that's why, despite the fact that this movie pummels you, it's intense, it's a ride, but at the same time, it fills you with hope. Even at the end, as it all goes through, you're kind of left with the feeling that maybe we're only moving on to something greater and wiser now, and more connected and appreciating what is important in life. You know, these events, just like the pandemic, always in some ways allow us to tap into a greater consciousness and remind us who we are and what's important, which is connectivity and love and tribe.
Morena, I'm really curious when you take on a part like this, because it is devastating scene after devastating scene emotionally. If there's any hesitation that you're going to take this on, because you're going to have to live in this headspace for months at a time and live in this like.
Yeah, I definitely had to gear up to it. I was a little terrified. I have a work motto that says, if I am scared to do it, then I should do it. This was definitely a movie that scared me because of the emotional commitment and the physical commitment. It's really these two characters, you know, the whole movie in different peril at different times, and then also together. So, you know, I would have to rise to the occasion, but I really enjoy a challenge.
Where's Ed?
We'll find him. It's okay. Clark's largest fragment will hit in less than 24 hours.
I'm wondering if there was something really humanizing about giving the threat a name, like Clark. Every time I heard it, it sort of brought me back into the story.
Yeah, I think that most of the time, extraterrestrial things are given more of a number or some kind of a classification that doesn't feel emotional. But right now, there's a hurricane called Sally. I mean, talk about a lovely name that is just going to wreck the Gulf region right now. And I like the idea of what it conveys, that it is more of an emotional attachment to something because we've given it a personal name of what that event's going to be. You know, to me, it was always two monsters in the movie. It was not only Clark, but it was humanity itself. Will we turn on each other? And are we capable of heinous things when it's life or death, or will we do right by each other?
And there's so many scenes in this film, because you guys rely on practical effects as often as you can in this, where you guys in the middle of huge crowd scenes, and I can't help but think like how hard that's going to be to do in the immediate future. Have you thought about obstacles like that in terms of telling a story of this size, the types of precautions we're going to have to take on?
I don't know how we do that before there's a vaccine. I don't see how that's possible. I think smaller movies, certainly, and I think that's what we're going to see a lot of in the coming months as things reopen. Or if you're in a country where there aren't many cases, then that's definitely something that you can do.
They're going to be harder to put together, but we're going to figure it out. I'm in the middle of leaving on the next film that, you know, Gerard Butler and I are going to do. We're going to go 3 in a row together, and there's some scenes with massive crowds in it, and you just realize that we all have to make lemonade out of lemons, and we all have to figure out clever ways to do things. And we finished Greenland during the pandemic. I mean, this movie was filmed, cut, screened, tested, locked before there was ever anything called COVID. And what we thought was hypothetical suddenly becoming much more of a reality. It was a very surreal experience to be on a mixed stage and then suddenly be in the middle of the pandemic. In fact, we got shut down from the California state because of it. And you suddenly realize the more different parallels with it, but you also I was really moved by a team of people, and I'm talking about 300 between visual effects and editors and colorists and mixers. We all went to our couches just like we are right now, and we finished the movie remotely. So I love the fact that we can all get it done, and we'll get it done moving forward. Just have to rethink things. And I think there's something a really favorite producer of mine said is I think things like this will end up knocking the rust off of antiquated ways that we used to do things and finding better ways to do it.
Yeah, that's good, because this was a great return to practical also. You know, it was great to see you immerse yourself in sets like this.
2 days. They got it all wrong. There's a ton of fragments. Planet killers.
Space agencies are predicting an extinction level event.
We're gonna be together, all right, kiddo? We're just trying to get to safety.
Do you know if bunkers like the ones featured in the movie actually exist?
Yes.
Do they really? Can you tell me about them or no? Or is it like lockdown secret?
No, there's nuclear concrete bunkers dug into the ground. And I think I heard that they kind of been forgotten about and a lot of them had been covered in ice, but that had receded again. But they're
in
there.
Greenland, right?
In Greenland, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, now I want to go find one.